You're welcome back to my channel once again. You're welcome back to this topic. Yes, very sensitive, right? But we have to talk about it because it's very important. Very, very important. And most times we don't get to talk about or hear these kind of things in the church. And that is why we suffer a lot as Christians, especially when we've gotten into marriage. So to avoid that and to avoid being in a situation where you will say, had I known, or where you will say, oh, I thought it would have been like this or like that, it is better we get it right while we are cutting or while we are getting so close to tying the knot with our partner. So are you okay now? Can we proceed? So it's never a sin, okay? It's not a sin to talk about these things. And in all honesty, this will cost you or save you a lot, depending on how you handle them. If you do not handle them very well, it will cost you a lot in your union. But if you handle it well, it will save you a lot in your union at a time. But make sure you get all the details you need because they will help you. So you're welcome back, guys. You're welcome back. So I think the first place to start is by talking about it. If you guys cannot really talk about it around the S word, I'm not going to pronounce it so that YouTube and their community guideline will not come after me and hunt my channel. So if you guys cannot freely discuss the S word, even while you guys are planning to settle down together, then there is a very big issue. In my own opinion, I always tell young and intending couples, I said, you know what, if you can't talk about it, forget about it. So it's a common slogan, but it applies in this situation because it is everything in that union. Yes, it is everything. That is what harmonizes the union. So it needs to be talked about. And if you cannot communicate effectively in that area, you might not still be able to communicate in other areas, if you know what I mean, because most times that is what ushers in a healthy conversation in marriages. If you guys are not compatible when it comes to your intimacy, most times you might not align in almost every other thing. So this is very important. So number one is talk about it. Can we talk about it? Talking about it will help you to know what your spouse has been fantasizing about when it comes to that, okay? It will help you to know what his dreams, what his expectations are, what he is up to, what his experiences has been like, if he's somebody who is experienced in it, whether you like it or not. See, everybody has a fantasy when it comes to the S word. When it comes to doing the do in marriage, especially, we all have our fantasies, especially some of us who are so reserved. Like, even a picture on the road can trigger something in us, and because we have the fear of God in us, we always like kind of quench it, waiting to meet the right man, to do it with the right person and under the right roof, okay? So we have this dream, we have these fantasies, we have these pictures, we have these image flying up and down in our head. We have every kind of things going up there, hoping for the right person to come. And this kind of conversation will make you to be open, and your partner will not know what you're really expecting, okay? So that's the very healthy way to start when it comes. The first question is, can we talk about it? Now the second question, you need to know your husband or your spouse or your partner's belief when it comes to abstinence. Look, it's not everybody that believes in this thing called abstinence. It's not everybody. And again, when I talk about abstinence, I always tell people there is something called secondary virginity. Do you believe in secondary virginity, or are you the type that will continually rub it on my face? After all, you're not a virgin, so what are we waiting for? So your partner needs to tell you their stand when it comes to abstinence. Some people again believe that because I have paid your bride price, even though we've not done church wedding, I don't think there is need for us to wait again. So these are the things you need to talk about even before they pay the bride price. So this will not come and cause any problem for you guys as you are going on, okay? Because it's a vital part of the union, like I said earlier, a very vital part, and that's why it needs to be discussed. So let him tell you, does he believe in abstinence till wedding? Is he willing to wait with you, or is he just waiting for you? So we've had some issues where a man will have to go and satisfy his girlfriend on the eve of their wedding, like Friday night for their wedding, like a goodbye package. You go there and they will make out, make love, sleep together, like a farewell gift that tomorrow now I will turn to a married woman, a married man. We have so much of those cases, even in the church, okay, even in the Christian community, we have cases like that. And at the end of the day, the result of that one night or the last night standing, the last night act will come back to haunt the couple eventually in their union. So you really need to know the type of man you're dealing with. Is he waiting for you, or is he waiting with you? There are some that when you insist, they will say, okay, I leave you to that, okay, because that is you, that is your belief, and I know eventually I will marry you, but I will catch my phone out there while we are waiting for the D-Day with you. There are some that said, okay, I've done this in the past and now I want to wait with you. Let's now explore together after our wedding. So you need to know his stand on that. Okay, now the next question you need to ask yourself is, how has he or she been managing his or her sexual urge before now? This is very important, because every adult, every adolescent, they start from adolescent, you will start having some sexual urge. So even if you have not done it before, okay, how have you been managing those urges when they come up? Have you been trying to help yourself in that area? How have you been doing it? Because if you get involved with somebody who is addicted to helping him or herself, okay, chances are that you might not be able to satisfy that person sexually in marriage. So there are every chances you might not be able to satisfy that person when it comes to that area in marriage, because he's used to doing it to himself or to herself a certain way that you do not know. Why this is very important is this, if this person, this your spouse or this your partner, has been the type that have been exploring, do you get what I mean? Like, has been exploring before meeting you, there are every chances that he will be craving those things when you people end up together. So this will help you to know if he needs therapy, because some addictions needs therapy before you can get over it. Forget the fact that you met this brother in church, oh. Forget the fact that you met this sister in church, oh. Sister must have been somewhere else before finally tracing his or her step back to church. Okay, so don't forget this fact that many people you find in church are repentant, and there's something they repented from. So most times, if it's something that concerns you or something that will affect you tomorrow, you really need to know those things. So it's not bad to ask these kind of questions. How have you been helping yourself? Have you been doing it? Have you been doing it? And with how many people? Now, the third important question is this: trauma. Do you have any history that is still haunting you today when it comes to sex? If it is not properly handled, if you don't get them to the point where they will be open to talk about it, they will still be so withdrawn when it comes to that act. So don't be surprised that you married this guy and this guy has never been moved or has never made the first move in your marriage. You've been the one pushing. You will literally undress him. You will literally force him on you. You get, and most times we'll think that this guy don't really love us. The same thing with women. There are some girls that were badly molested growing up, and they tried and managed to put themselves together, get into a church, got baptized and got born again, and by God's grace they've been able to keep themselves until they get married. But that does not still take away that trauma. Okay, so you might be surprised that you married your wife and your wife is still not open to you, and your wife is scared literally when it comes to that act. So these are the things that causes it. So it's good for you to know if he had any childhood trauma, childhood history that he wants to share. Just give him that open and listening ear Don't judge him. Don't judge him, because once you judge him, he will withdraw and he might not be open to you again. So I give him that room to really come out clean so that you can sort the needed help together. So this is very important. If not, it might affect your intimacy going forward in that union. Now, the last but not the least is your medical history. Okay, you are planning to go in with this man, and you're planning to go in and start like procreating. Even if you're not going to procreate, you're going to start sharing your body together. So you need to know if this person you want to share your body with, if this person is medically okay and fit and free from every infection. So this is important. You need to just ask your partner, when last were you tested? HIV, STDs, whatever you need to test, sperm count, you need to check all these things before tying the knot with this guy. So these are the things. It's just very few of them, because I know there are some things that I know you are supposed to ask as well, but these are the vital ones, like the vital ones. From these ones you can get into other, you can now ask as the fun is going on. So guys, this is where I'll be ending this video today. If there's any more questions I come across which are very vital, maybe I will do a part 2 of this. Until next time, I remain Checks, and don't forget that I love you, and see you in my next video. Wishing you all the best in your union and in your marriage. Bye.